My first one is to CS Murkomen. Mr. Speaker, patriots in this country fought against detention without trial, and CS Murkomen, I assure you, they are going to fight against extrajudicial killings, especially within police custody. The question is this, CS. The Deputy Inspector of Police, Mr. Eliud Lagat, went against the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, went against the provisions of the National Police Act, specifically Section 17, and in general, the Leadership and Integrity Act. You, as a member of the National Security Council, where you sit together with the IG, both of you are present here. Why have you found it difficult to advise the necessary authorities that Eliud Lagat be dismissed from service? My next question, Mr. Speaker, is to to the IG Kanja. IG Kanja, Kenyans who know you, we have a lot of respect for you because you are the officer, unknown to some people, who defeated the terrorists at Dusit 2 Hotel. We know you as a serious police officer. We've been wondering why these killings under you, and now that Lagat is the person we have found to be who he is, we can now very well see who has been undermining you. I therefore want to appeal to you. Tell this country, a spokesman by the name of Mushiri Nyaga, the police spokesman, he misrepresented material facts. He attempted to conceal this killing. He went and interfered with the circumstances of the crime by stating that Omondi Ojwang hit his head on the wall. IG Kanja, why have you not arrested him? He has information which in his statement under arrest will help to point fingers at who gave him this deliberate statement so as to do what I have said above. Finally, Mr. Speaker, back to Kanja and or Amin. IPOA has now told us the names of the officers from DCI who went to Migori to go and arrest Ojwang. Can you tell the country how it came to pass that Ojwang was moved all the way, Ojwang, that Ojwang was moved all the way, hundreds of kilometers, contrary to the provisions of normal procedure that would have required that he be taken to the nearest police station in the jurisdiction where he committed, quote unquote, the said crime, and that if he needed to be moved, a magistrate needed to give permission for him to be moved all the way to Nairobi. Could you, IG, tell us why you have found it difficult to arrest these officers? And their names are a little bit disturbing. You tell us why you have not arrested them? Because they're the only ones who were with this young man from the last time the parents saw him well and alive up to the time they came to Nairobi for the country to be told that the young man was dead. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to CS Murkomen. CS Murkomen, the National Security Council, where you sit, is charged with promoting and guaranteeing security of the country. And you have the audacity to come and face the Parliament of Kenya and tell Kenyans that you don't see, you don't know. CS Murkomen, please, for the respect of this young man, you are yet to grow a child up to the age of 31. Can you immediately resign? You are not fit to be in that docket. Please, I beg you, it is not personal. And if you think I'm joking, you are a well-read man. You know that in 2011, in Tunisia, a street hawker by the name of Mohamed Bouazi was killed. And people came into the streets, and the government of President Ben Ali was overthrown. You truly don't know what you're playing with. Please resign. You cannot be an inspiration to be in cabinet.
Senator Majayo.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Swala langu la kwanza linakwenda kwa Inspector Generali. Inspector Generali, nataka atueleze wazi kabisa ni kwa sababu gani kulikuwa kuna lazima ya kwamba huyu mtu aliyeshikwa kule Homa Bay, huyu Kajwang, huyu Ojwang, sorry my brother Kajwang, huyu Ojwang aliyeshikwa kule kwa Homa Bay kuchukua safari ya masaa mengi kama hayo mpaka Nairobi, kulikuwa na sababu gani hapo katikati ya kwamba ni lazima aje Nairobi? Swala la kwanza. La pili, nataka kujua ni kwa sababu gani alipokuwa amefika Nairobi kulikuwa na wale mapolisi waliotangulia kuingia ndani ya cell na kuharibu zile CCTV ziko pale ndani, ili chochote kitakachofanyika pale ndani, atakayeingia na atakayetoka hataweza kuonekana katika ile kamera. Ni nani waliofanya kitendo kama hicho ambacho kiliweza kupoteza ile CCTV isiweze kuona ni nani aliyeingia ndani ya ile cell ambayo Ojwang alikuwa hapo? Na hatimaye mwisho, ile CCTV ambayo ingetusaidia wale watu waliingia pale ndani, wewe mwenyewe ukiwa kipaumbele ukisema ya kwamba pengine huyu alijigonga mwenyewe akafa. Nataka kukuambia ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba hakuna binadamu ambaye yuko ndani ya cell anaweza kujigonga mwenyewe mpaka akajiua unless alikuwa na akili punguani. Kwa hiyo nataka kujua wale walioingia, wale mapolisi walioingia pale ndani na wakamuua Ojwang ni kina nani? Tunataka kujua. Asante Bwana Speaker.
The majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have followed the presentation from IPOA, who are the constitutionally charged body with investigating such incidents. However, I found their answer to be a bit too vague, Mr. Speaker, because of no specific reference to certain critical things that the country wished to know at this particular time. It will help this country, Mr. Speaker, to appreciate if in the course of their investigation, they have been able to establish, because you've seen the list of the interdicted officers, the OCS, the officers who are on duty, Mr. Speaker, and now this morning, IPOA has just listed the names of the officers who went all the way to Homa Bay to pick Mr. Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, from IPOA's records and the investigation, wouldn't it have been beneficial if the representative, the vice chair from IPOA, would have let this House and the country know whether, in accordance to the investigation, by the time Albert Ojwang arrived at Central Police Station, what was his state, Mr. Speaker? Second and most importantly, where are these officers, both the OCSs, Mr. Speaker, not both actually, the DCI officers that picked him and the officers who interacted with Albert Ojwang in the course? Have they recorded their statements, Mr. Speaker? And by when do we expect that we will see, Mr. Speaker, the conclusion of this investigation, the closure of the file, forwarding to DPP for people to be charged, Mr. Speaker? If I could get those three specific items, Mr. Speaker, then I will appreciate and know that for sure something is being done to give justice to the family of this deceased young man. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, for the record, the name Ojwang in Luo means abandoned, neglected, and raised in hardship. And clearly, you can see it has come to be true in the case of Albert that we are talking about today. Mr. Speaker, can the Inspector General of Police withdraw and apologize in this House for the assertions that he made through the formal communication by the National Police Service that Ojwang killed himself? Mr. Speaker, in my culture, suicide brings stigma. And the IG of police has brought untold suffering, stigma, to the family of Ojwang by purporting that this gentleman killed himself when the autopsy clearly reveals that he was killed in the hands of police. Can you direct the IG to apologize and withdraw on the floor of this House on the strength of the autopsy report? Mr. Speaker, secondly, there are many good officers in the National Police Service. We must agree. All the members of Senate here have one or two police officers assigned to them. And I think generally they are people of good conduct. But there are few bad apples, Mr. Speaker, that need to be fumigated. And that is where the National Police Service comes in, and the CS for Interior. Has a CS done any policy directives in writing pursuant to Article 245 to deal with those bad elements? Mr. Speaker, further, if you pursue the proximate cause theory, it was a complaint by DIG Lagat that led to the arrest of this young man in Lida, in Mawego, and that led to his death. Mr. Speaker, why is DIG Lagat still in office when it is his complaint that triggered the chain of actions and reactions that led to the death of this young man? Can the Inspector General tell us why? Can the CS tell us why? Because you cannot be in office still having authority and power, and you are the person who is being investigated. Mr. Speaker, I said there are many good police officers. The stepping aside of DIG Lagat is not going to lead to the collapse of the police force. And Mr. Speaker, what Kenyans want to see is DIG Lagat not just stepping aside, but he should also go to a police station and record a statement and have his fingerprints taken, because there is no way you are going to carry out an investigation without addressing the proximate cause of the chain of events that led to the death of this young man. Mr. Speaker, we have been told that there are other suspects that were mentioned. There was Kevin, who was taken to Kenyanya and ultimately, I think, ended up in Kamukunji. What is the status? Are they still alive? Kevin, Dorcas, Peter, Douglas, Albert is dead. What about the other four that were adversely mentioned? Can the IG assure this House? And in fact, Mr. Speaker, we might need to issue habeas corpus so that they can be produced. And we confirm that they're alive, because one of the co-accused is right now lying at the city mortuary. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the CS has pointed us to Article 245. And Mr. Speaker, the CS is an illustrious former member of this House. I have a lot of personal respect for him. We are friends, we are age mates, and I believe we operate at the same intellectual bandwidth. But I fail to recognize when he becomes the cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker. Because the things he spoke for, the things he stood for while in this House continue to happen unabated under his watch. He was very articulate and eloquent when talking about the killings in Elgeyo Marakwet, in Baringo. They are still happening today. He was very articulate one time when the police came to the presence of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. He moved this House to suspend its sittings and the Speaker ordered the police to exit the presence of Parliament. That is a gentleman who's today the Cabinet Secretary. When our colleagues, Senator Malala, Senator Lelegwe, Senator Lagat, were arrested on the eve of an important debate, the then Senator Murkomen was passionate, articulate, eloquent, citing the relevant provisions of the Constitution, and moved this House to adjourn until the rights of our senators were observed. Could the CS tell us? I know he might not tell us what happens when you become a cabinet secretary, because obviously there seems to be a metamorphosis from positive to negative. But can he tell us whether he has issued any directions in writing, as he had referred to Article 245? And he tables them before this House and before the relevant committee, whether he has given policy guidelines, prudential advice on extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearance, violation of rights of protesters, violations of rights of citizens, the emergence of vigilantes, and non-state actors who are abducting people in this country. That is part of his responsibility. Can he confirm that he has lived to that responsibility? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Asante sana Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kifungu cha 239 cha katiba ya Kenya inasema vitengo vya usalama ni vitatu: Kenya Defence Forces ama jeshi, National Intelligence ama majasusi, na polisi. Na inasema mamlaka hizi tatu katika hicho kifungu ziko chini ya wananchi, yani under civilian authority. Sasa mimi nataka kuuliza, wale walimkamata Albert Ojwang, wale walimweka Albert Ojwang katika seli, ni mafunzo gani walipata ya kwamba ukiwa ndani ya seli unaweza kufanya chochote kwa yule mtu ambaye wewe mamlaka yako iko chini yake? Nataka kuuliza Inspector General, nataka kuuliza waziri anayehusika, kama katika training yao hawa polisi, are they taught kuhusu constitution, kuhusu being under civilian authority? Wanafundishwa hii? Ya pili, mawakili wote ambao washawahi kusimamia wateja wao ambao wanashtakiwa na kesi za jinai, ukienda kwa police station pale mbele, Bwana Speaker, ukitaka kuona mteja wako yoyote, ni lazima ujiandikishe kama wakili. Ni lazima useme ni nani unamuona. Sasa mimi nataka kujua, siku ile Albert Ojwang alishikwa, na kawaida ukiingia pale vitu vyako vyote vinatolewa, ID yako, kila kitu inawekwa mahali kando. Wewe unaingia kwa seli peke yako na nguo zako. Swali nataka kuuliza, polisi watuambie, Inspector General, walikuwa watu wangapi katika ile seli? Kwa sababu huyu mtu tumeambiwa amepigwa ama amekufa kwa sababu ya maumivu aliyopata. Sasa either alipigwa na wale wenzake ambao walikuwa wako hapo ndani, ama alipigwa na polisi ambao walipata nafasi ya kuingia. Kila mtu ambaye anaingia pale lazima ajiandikishe. Tunataka kujua IG wa polisi, ile kitabu ambayo ukitaka kuingia kwa seli unaandikishwa, kiko wapi? Na ni askari gani walipewa nafasi ya kuingia? Na ni watu wangapi walikuwa ndani ya sel ya Albert Ojwang? Haya maswali tunataka yajibiwe. Wakenya wanataka kujua ni nini iliendelea usiku huo ili asubuhi huyu kijana awe amefariki. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Mogeni.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the people who have appeared before us this morning have sworn, I believe Mr. Amin swore through a Quran, and the others lifted a Bible. And when I had read a Quran, sometimes the Quran strongly condemns murder. And the Bible says, Murkomen, you are a Christian, it says, thou shalt not kill. So this matter is painful. This is an extraordinary sitting. Mr. Speaker, the people who started the events that led to the murder of this young man, who is the only son of a fairly elderly parent, who are from the DCI. And when you was picked from Oma Bay, I believe he was first taken to DCI. And Mr. Amin, I want to look at you, and you are a Muslim, and you have children. All of you have children. I also have children. Nobody will have any joy when you see somebody's son die.
Honorable Mogeni, the 2 hours have lapsed. I will therefore extend for a further 45 minutes.
Thank you. So, Mr. DCI, I believe that at the DCI offices, you have CCTV cameras. So if we need to connect the events before we end up at Central Police Station, Mr. Speaker, the life of Ojwang stopped. We can also stop everything we are doing to get to the bottom of this matter. If we had John, Mr. Speaker, can we get the CCTV cameras that will track the movement of this young man from the DCI headquarters all the way to Central Police Stations, if we sincerely want Kenyans to know the truth, so that we know whether this guy was taken to Central Police Station dead or alive. So, Mr. Speaker, we want this to be an extraordinary session. If we have to go to the bottom of the truth, can the DCI tell us this afternoon, since you have sworn by the Quran, that you can get us the CCTV cameras that will show us the state this late man was when he left DCI, assuming that the CCTV's cameras at Central Police Station were tampered with. One. Number two, this is to IG now. This was an ordinary suspect, one IG, booked at Central Police Station. I want you to, and Murkomen, you are a lawyer, you are a colleague. And we know you have a wife and you have children. I also have children, Murkomen. So we are here pained for what the police have done. Murdering a Kenyan in a police cell. Somebody's only child. How heartless can you guys be in the police force? So we want to know why. Why was this young man, Ojwang, booked alone in a cell at Central Police Station? If this was not covered up. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this person from IPOA, you are a vice chair. The chairman of IPOA knows that we are investigating a matter where a Kenyan has been murdered in a police cell. a safe haven for any criminal. When you go to a police cell, lawyers, we know it's a safe haven. Mr. Speaker, I want to know this afternoon, where is this chairman of IPOA? Mr. Speaker, where is the chairman of IPOA? When we have adjourned every business to address this matter, where has he what is that so important business that he can travel out of the country instead of coming to the House to give us the answers that we are seeking? Finally, Mr. Speaker, this is to CS Murkomen. Because you are a colleague, we were with you here last session. You know chapter 14 as a total 10 articles, 10 of them. You know that Article 240 establishes the National Security Council. If you read Article 4, Article 240 is about Article 3. It says the council shall exercise supervisory control. Supervisory is a verb, an action word, a to-do word. So it says the National Council shall supervise all the police units. So how can you come here, CS, this morning to tell us that the government of the Republic of Kenya has no eye, can say nothing? When the Constitution commands the police units to respect human rights, the rule of law, and fundamental freedoms. Fundamental freedoms demand that if I'm a suspect, arrest me, take me to a police station. If there is a crime I've committed, take me to a court of law. So I want to ask you, CS, this morning, do you want to tell us that the government of the day, led by the Commander-in-Chief, has got no supervisory powers over the police force in Kenya? Is that what you are telling the Senate of the Republic of Kenya this morning? Those are my questions.
The Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I did want to join my colleagues in addressing this matter. And Mr. Speaker, the report that the DCI officers who brought Albert Ojwang to Nairobi, and the report that he was safe and his body was okay, was of good health. I want to ask IPOA, because they have agreed with that report. And also they have made a conclusion at the end of the day that Albert Ojwang did not commit suicide. They have already concluded to that bit. So I want to ask IPOA, how truthful is the report that you have? Because maybe I saw from the media that there is a CCTV at the entrance of the Central Police Station. There is a CCTV also at the reception. All those CCTV cameras destroyed, that you have nothing completely to explain whether Albert Ojwang came when he was sound and safe. And maybe whether you are correlating the traveling from Omabi to Nairobi and to DCI, the way my colleague has explained here. So, because if you're investigators, you know, you cannot give us half-baked information. Just tell us exactly what has been happening. And because you are vice chair, you know, the chairman could really be the person to pin down. But because you are the vice chair, there are some things maybe even you have not privy to what is happening. Where is the chairman? Where is he that he can